a child. Well, I'm a nurse, and when you come through my hospital, don't worry, I'll let you die.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Wow. Oh, my God.
All your family members, and this is all on recording. Greater Heights, don't go there. I couldn't walk straight because I had a eye injection yesterday. Because my perception is permanently off. You can't speak straight because you have an accent from another country.
All right, I'll be playing on audio. Make sure you listen to it.
No, that's because ICE hasn't picked you up yet.
You literally just said you don't want me there because you're going to let me die.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not that great of a person. You think you can just treat me like this? You're going to be so embarrassed. And I'm also white. Yeah.
Yep. Put it up full mask. We have some background to this story. She's a nurse. This was during a DUI arrest. According to Atlanta Black Star, Crystal Tadlock, a Texas nurse who was awarded for extraordinary ICU care, was just fired from her job after she was caught on camera telling the cops who arrested her for DUI that she would let them die if she ever treated them. Miss Tadlock was arrested in Magnolia, Texas, and charged for driving under the influence. This happened on October 11th. According to an arrest report obtained by Law&Crime, she was pulled over for going over the speed limit. It took her 40 seconds to stop, and officers noted that she ran a red light and she also hit a piece of concrete. Police reported that they noticed a, quote, strong odor of alcohol emanating from the vehicle and Tadlock's breath, and that the nurse had bloodshot, glassy eyes, and slurred speech. Before I continue, and she did fail a sobriety test. There was a field sobriety test. Let me put a picture back up full mask. I actually don't think that she's a bad employee for her hospital or the agency she works for. I believe that extraordinary ICU care was likely earned. I also believe there's another side. And that other side, to say, under any condition, you will let somebody die, tells me that you are well aware of your position and your profession in life as a person who saves lives. That is the reason you made that statement. You made it in the context, in my opinion, of you being a nurse. All the other things you said, ridiculous, not wise, but that's the point of this. You are a person who has not only a license in order to take care of those who need help, but you have public trust from those under your care. Ma'am, if you have a drinking problem, I encourage you to seek help. That's the reason I don't drink anymore myself. I haven't had a drink now in going on 10 years plus. Because I didn't want to be that person. And I would encourage you, if there's an issue, seek help. There's no shame in that. After failing sobriety test, body cam and police cruiser footage captured Ms. Tadlock's rant at the officers who took her into custody after blaming her failed test on a recent eye injection. She starts to threaten the cops. Quote, "When you come through my hospital, don't worry. I'll let you die," end quote. Tadlock is heard saying on video, quote, "All your family members," and this is all on recording. The nurse informed officers that she's worked at Memorial Hermann Greater Heights Hospital in Houston for the last 7 years, Tadlock adds, Greater Heights, B word. Don't go there. You have an individual, obviously, in an impaired state. My grandmother would say that even though she's intoxicated, she speaks a sober tongue, as they would say in this house. To then threaten the family or families of the police officers, and not receive a terroristic threat, by the way, not receive the charge of obstruction that we have seen other people receive when they start going down these rants. All right? She tells them where she's employed. They do not investigate. She said it. Her tirade doesn't stop there, however. She starts taking aim at one of the officers' racial background. Quote, you can't speak straight because you have an accent from another country. End quote, she says, later adding, quote, that's because ICE hasn't picked you up yet. End quote. She then goes after the officer's decision to arrest her while making more racial remarks. Quote, you half American, you're going to be so embarrassed, and I'm also white. End quote. Put it back up, full man. I know that typically people will say in this situation, madam, that they're sorry for what they said. They were intoxicated when they said it. And you're not that kind of person. If it wasn't in you, it doesn't come out of you. If it wasn't in you, it doesn't come out of you. We have seen many people arrested for DUI. They've said some pretty horrible things. Not those things, if it wasn't inside of them in the beginning. You have to reconcile with that at some point. In an arrest report, the officer whom Tadlock insulted said that she actually became increasingly belligerent, making derogatory remarks and also threats. She initially stated that the reason I was doing this was because ICE had not picked me up yet. The report says Crystal also made racist comments about my ethnicity and stated that she is going to be getting out of this because she is white. She also stated that she had an issue with me because I was not white, and this is reflected in the recording. The arrest report also states that once she arrived to jail, she told other staff members, quote, that if any of them went to the hospital where she works, she would ensure they die as well. Tadlock is currently out on bond. In a now viral Facebook post about the arrest, the Magnolia Police Department wrote about Tadlock stating, quote, the female who is a nurse stated that if any of us came to her hospital, she would make sure we died. Unfortunately, we couldn't charge her with not being a very nice person. In 2022, Ms. Tadlock was recognized by the nonprofit, the Daisy Foundation, which honors healthcare practitioners and caregivers who nurse and clinically care for patients with autoimmune diseases. Not long after her arrest, Memorial Hermann released a statement to KTRK confirming they fired Ms. Tadlock after an investigation. Quote, immediately upon learning of this incident on Saturday, we took swift action to suspend the employee pending investigation. She has now been terminated. The safety and privacy of our patients, visitors, and workforce are our top priority, and we take such matters very seriously. This is a public service announcement for so many. And to you, madam, I highly encourage that you get some help. I know there's some folk in your family that love you. All right. But this is the reason why individuals go through the training that you went through in order to gain that license, in order to gain access, and in order to gain public trust in such a disciplined and needed field as health or healthcare, because we expect you to not want anyone to die, regardless of who they are, what race they may be, or what country they are from. All right. You have some thoughts here.
So this took place kind of in the Houston area. She has been swiftly let go, and that makes a lot of sense. The Memorial Hermann system here in Houston is a very big deal. It's a major employer here in the city. The Heights, including Greater Heights, is also a nicer part of the city. It's up on the northwest side. It's a very desirable place for people to live and visit. And I assume she knows that because she seems to get some kind of like feeling of prestige saying that she works there because she emphasized that point, which I thought was funny. But that truth serum, man, like she was celebrated for her work as a nurse back in 2021. But you know what? A lot can happen between 2021 and 2025. And a lot has happened within this country and in our political landscape. But even with everything that this country has been through in the last 4 years, a Trump presidency and the prevalence of something like ICE does not suddenly make someone racist, especially not so racist that they're now boldly threatening cops and telling them that she would let them die if they came into her hospital. That part was already in her, and it's probably just been amplified. And again, yeah, it's become emboldened to the point where she's just saying this stuff out loud. I know she was drunk, but still, it's in her. And I think there's also this perception that people working in fields like healthcare are higher thinkers or they're more compassionate, that they would be above behavior and beliefs like this. But bro, like, it's two separate things. You can make it through nursing school, you can make it through medical school, good for you, but that doesn't mean that you're above this type of behavior or these types of beliefs. And it is a problem in healthcare specifically, because that is an industry where you do have to be selfless. You take an oath. I don't know if nurses take the oath, someone can fact check that for me. But you're supposed to serve the public. You don't get into a field like that unless you understand that that is a big part of that job. I understand that most people, there's a lot of reasons why people would get into that field beyond that. It pays well, it has prestige, you get a good, stable job, you're always going to have a job. Those are all good reasons to become whatever you want to become. But with this job in particular, you are serving your community, you are serving the people, and whatever your needs are, whatever your beliefs are, all of that is secondary to the job that you're there to do. And this woman seems to have forgotten that. Perhaps once she was better about that, but not so much anymore.
Opportunities to transform are ever before us.